I will also say, I think this was Kobe Bryant, but it's determination breeds success. And I love that quote because you always have to stay determined because the success is going to come. It's just you got to put in the work. You got to stay determined. You got to stay hungry all the time, never be satisfied. And everything that you ever want is going to come just with it. And what I would say to people, who are watching this is, just to keep going. And I know it may be hard because, we're college students right now. And wherever you are, it's going to be tough. But you just got to keep going because, in the end, it's always going to pay off. There'll be times I don't want to maybe go to practice or I don't want to go to work or I don't want to go to class. But I'm like, you know what? For where I want to go, you just got to keep going. You need to. And you got to, keep the faith, too. Yeah, keep the faith. Definitely. Keep the faith. Just pray to God. Pray or to whatever your faith is. Even if you're agnostic, just believe in yourself then. That's all you can believe. Just keep going. So, I would say that. And
Acoustics.
Bitch, I'm D-strut, and it be straight, can't fuck this shit up. Every time I'm down bad, and my back to the wall, I'ma get up.
I think the two of y'all is gonna enjoy what we talk about a little, but we ain't gonna say too much. But I think you guys are gonna enjoy it. But just listen up,
I was gonna have some sentiments about what we're gonna say.
Yeah, but it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. No. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry. Nah, don't worry about it. Don't worry. Nah, it's cool. No, we not even talking about it. It's cool. Make sure you don't gotta bend to talk.
We good.
We ain't talking about that, bro.
We didn't say that. We don't know what we talk about.
We ain't talking about that, but
nah, just be cool.
Yo, what's good, everyone? We're back here for, I believe this is my 8th episode. We going on 10 episodes. I'm not gonna lie, almost 10 weeks of this podcast is crazy. It's really been a dream come true. I really just been chasing after my dreams, and this it's really great to see. So I want to start off by saying thank you to everyone that's been supporting me. Thank you to all the guests that I've had and that I will have in advance. Thank you to everyone. Thank you for, no matter if you watch the whole video or if you watch only 10 seconds, it means the world to me. So getting in today's episode, first off, I got to start off by shouting out my social medias. So if you want to follow me on Instagram, follow me at Hansy. I also have a talk show Instagram for to promote this podcast. So if you want to follow me on that, it's at Jaden Hansy Talks. Twitter, don't really use Twitter like that, but if you want to follow me on Twitter, follow me at Jaden Hansy. TikTok, don't really use TikTok like that unless it's to promote my podcast, but you can follow me on TikTok at Jaden Hansy as well. I post snippets from my episodes every week. So yeah, that's all about my social media. So I kind of want to get into today's episode. I have a good friend of mine, Chike right here, and we're gonna be talking about a lot of different things. But first, I want you to start off by shouting out your social media. So if they want to follow you, if they want to check out anything you got going on, start off by shouting everything you have.
All right, so my Instagram, I'm gonna just put my hands out right here.
Yeah, it'll be somewhere right there.
My Snapchat, it's the same. It's Chike_Noah21. It's gonna be right here.
Mm-hmm.
And my Twitter, just look it up. Just look it up.
Yeah. Okay, for sure. So I'll have that all geared up for you. But yeah, so like I like to do with all of my guests that come on the podcast, I kind of want to start off with how we met. So I'm gonna let you. Usually, I know what I want to say when I'm talking about how I met somebody, but I'm gonna let you take it off because I low key don't remember. Because I think this day that we became cool was a very rough day for me. But I'm gonna let you start off. So take it away.
All right, bet. So the thing is, with Jaden, we had a couple introductions, but the first one that we ever had was, I think, when I know, okay, this is Jaden, I'm putting in my memory, was we went to ASU homecoming because SDSU football, we was playing Fresno State.
Yeah.
And we went with the ASU. They had a bus, so they took us to, Carson. We watched the game.
Yeah.
And we was coming outside the bus, and I was just standing. And Jaden was over there. He was in my group, so he was talking about, oh, yeah, can I go home? He was asking, can I go home? Because I live 5 minutes away. I'm like, wait, what? You live 5 minutes away? He said he's from Carson. I said, well, I'm from Inglewood. And I was like, oh, we literally we just hit it off from there because we were so close. I didn't even know. It was just
yeah, it's crazy
by chance.
Yeah, small world.
And I kept meeting him over time, with my friends Raul, Caleb. We'd be chilling. He'd come to BRC, say what's up. We just started clicking from there, and then that's like the friendship started to flower. So
Yes, sir.
that's just how it really
And now we're here, so it's crazy. It's crazy.
Now I got the privilege. I got the call.
I know it's crazy that it's such a small world that you can meet somebody that only lives 15 minutes away from you in a place that I've never been before. Well, I've obviously been to San Diego, but I've obviously also never lived in San Diego. So it's kind of crazy to like just that where I'm from is other places as well, which is, if that makes sense. Sorry if that makes it, but yeah. So I kind of want to. So you say you were originally born in Inglewood, right?
Right.
Originally born, right?
Right. Yeah. So I was born in Inglewood. Like to my mom and dad, you know, my dad actually immigrated here from Nigeria. Met my mom, so we used to live in Windsor Hills.
Windsor Hills,
it's
yeah.
It's like a neighborhood in like close to Inglewood, but not really Inglewood. And then I grew up there. I went to Catholic school. I went to St. Jerome. So shout out my people from St. Jerome. And yeah, that was my time in Inglewood. You know, it was a little, you know, 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom, small house. Very cozy, but we made it work.
Yeah. I feel you on that. Okay, so yeah, I want to speak about some of your time that you spent in LA, because we're gonna get into it, but he's also spent a lot of time in Nigeria as well. You were in Nigeria specifically, right?
Yeah, so I used to bounce around. Like I used to go to different countries and stuff, like in Africa. One more time out there, but like living like. I'm like, I have a house, I have my family.
Yeah.
Nigeria for sure.
Okay, so you kind of half and half in Nigeria and Los Angeles.
Right.
So before we get into Nigeria, because obviously that's way more out of the ordinary than Los Angeles, I want to talk about like your time you spent in LA. Like what did you like the most about it? Where do you like living the most? You know, just get into it.
Yeah. So my time in LA, I honestly loved it. You know, LA gets a lot of, you know, stick because, you know, it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
Glamour, you know what I'm saying? But when you really in LA and you like living there and going to school, I feel like it's a great experience. You know what I mean? Like especially like where we live, really, like Carson, Inglewood. That's really like black people central. That's where all the black people are. So it's not like, you know, you're living in like a part of LA where it's like right, like really saturated with white people. You know, that's really LA. Like, you know. Like you have Crenshaw, you have all these places. Like it was just a cool experience. So you see a lot of things. You see a lot of the culture. You see people you don't like. You just run into, and they're like all cool with you. So
yeah, for
me it was a fantastic experience. And I was in Carson.
Yeah.
Carson was lit.
Yeah, Carson. Yeah, definitely. You know, but you know it's crazy. So about a month ago, I was one of my friends sent me a TikTok, right? And it was like a trend talking about places in Los Angeles, right? And they said I think they said Carson and Inglewood weren't even a part of LA, and that's actually super stupid.
We gonna shut this down right now. Carson, Inglewood, Long Beach, I'm gonna say Torrance, I'm gonna say Manhattan Beach, like those areas right there, that's really LA.
Yeah.
Anywhere else outside of that, that's where we start asking the question.
Is Long Beach, because all those cities outside of Long Beach, I believe, are in LA County.
Right.
But I don't think Long Beach is in LA County, is it?
I feel like Long Beach, I don't know if it is or isn't, but I feel like Long Beach just has that LA.
Yeah, definitely.
Snoop Dogg.
Yeah, definitely.
They all really were like, they were with Dr. Dre. You feel me?
Yeah.
So they was like LA by default, even if they weren't in the county.
Yeah. No, I get what you mean. But yeah, I didn't really appreciate that, because people try to act like Carson is, if it's not LA, then what is it?
Yeah, Carson is really LA. Like, that's insane. Whatever.
Yeah, I extended it to you because it was like, it blew my mind, because I was like, that doesn't even make sense. If it's LA County, how is it not LA? But I think that they were considering the cities that were actually LA was like South Central, and obviously those are like the heart. But
I could see where it's coming from, but you know what? If you say Carson's not really LA, like, I'm sorry, you don't know what you're talking about.
It's and they said Compton wasn't LA. Like what? What do you mean?
Nah. That needs to stop.
Yeah, Carson, Inglewood, Compton are part of LA. We don't know about Long Beach, but even still, the vibe of Long Beach is a part of LA. So
Long Beach really right there.
Yeah, it's right there. So
it's the people. You know, the people probably said that. Those are people that probably from like Van Nuys.
Yeah, you know.
Burbank, you know, them people, SCV.
Yeah.
We not rocking with that.
Yeah.
Carson, LA for sure.
For sure. So
I wanted to ask you a question, actually. So you went to Sarah.
Yes, I did.
Enough, if I was in LA, I would have gone to Sarah, St. Bernard's, or Loyola.
Okay.
So
yeah. Familiar with all those three schools. Yeah.
Catholic schools.
Yeah.
So, you know, how was it, you know, going to like a Catholic school in LA as opposed to like, you know, going to like Fairfax? You could have gone to, Actually, since you was in Carson, you probably could have gone to Bishop Montgomery.
Yeah.
So how was it going to like, you know, a Catholic school in LA?
I think, I don't know, I can only speak on going to a Catholic school in LA, but I'm not sure if this is other states as well. But I really appreciate Catholic school, but I don't think you should be in Catholic school from the time you start school to the time you go to college.
Right.
I think having a Catholic school experience in high school is really good, because it was like, for those that know about Sarah's probably only like 400 to 500 students. So it's a really small community, right? So that means everyone knows each other. And it's also, it's like a family. It's a Sarah family. So it helped me a lot finding myself, becoming a better student. That's the reason why I'm such a good student, is because I went there, I met the teachers, met other students. It's like, I don't want to talk about it too much, but I think Catholic school, especially the one that I went to, I would recommend it to anyone, because it's really the reason why I believe that I'm on the track that I'm on. So yeah, I like it a lot, and I'm sure you can attest to that. Going to a Catholic school, even though in the moment it may not be as fun, but like when you look back at it, you'd be like, okay, I'm kind of grateful that I went to a Catholic school. You know?
Absolutely. Like, I mean, you know, like the religion classes and going to religion. You know, I mean, sometimes I'd be like. But like looking back on it now, I'm like, you know, I'm actually glad.
I
went to religion classes, because I learned, you know, about the Bible, about Jesus Christ, my faith, and you know, I practiced. It actually strengthened my values.
Yeah, definitely.
My morals and values through not only my faith, but through my life. You know, so I feel like Catholic school gave me tons of valuable, you know, knowledge just about the world. Really.
Yeah, definitely. I agree.
That kind of shaped, you know, who I am, especially, you know, going in LA. So
yeah, definitely. I agree. On the religion side of it, it definitely did increase my faith a lot, because I'm not sure if your Catholic school did this, but mine, we used to go on retreats, which is where like sometimes they'll like take your phone from you and leave it at the school, and then we'll drive out probably like an hour 30 minutes away to like a camping place, and then you're there with like other classmates, and you're doing activities, and it's really good for bonding. I met a lot of good friends there, and that friendships that I still have to this day. So like that's one thing about Catholic school that I would say, like, if you have a student and you want them to be on the right track, put them in a Catholic school, because it's really going to take you there. But yeah, so I want to ask you a question kind of geared towards more LA. Now, being in San Diego State, I've never met this many people from, every person that's been on my podcast, except for you and another friend of mine, has been from the Bay Area. So I want to, I have very like, okay, so look, it's no hate to anyone from the Bay, never. But the good thing about the people from the Bay is that they're proud about where they come from, right? And me personally, I'm very proud of where I come from, right? So I want to hear from another LA man, let's talk about how much better the LA is than the Bay. Let's talk about it.
You know what? I'm gonna say right now, LA is the best city in the world. Like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. LA, I'm proud to be from LA, and real LA, not no Pasadena.
Yeah, real LA. Yeah.
Windsor Hills, Baldwin Hills, like Inglewood. That area, that's really LA. And I mean, just the amount of culture that's there. I mean, like, you look at like places like the Forum, places like Staples.
Classic. It's classic.
It's just so much culture and history, like, and it's just like diverse. It's really diverse, and it's like the heart, especially like Carson. That's literally a black city. Like, it's just all black people. So living in LA was like, it's just crazy. You have all these like different food places you can go.
Definitely,
to.
And you
got Mulligan's. You're
not going to Roscoe's in the Bay.
Yeah, you're not. Respect.
Like, are you?
It's crazy because I have my Bay Area friends that are here, right? I'm like, okay, let's go to Roscoe's. Where's Roscoe's? In LA. So it's like the culture and like the food and like everything is just so.
Yeah.
You can't beat it.
You can't beat it. And I've never been to the Bay, but obviously I got a love for a lot of people that's from the Bay. But I just feel like it's not a real comparison, because the Bay Area is just too small to be compared to LA. And it's like, if I lived in Wisconsin, right, and I wanted to come to the West Coast, am I gonna say, oh, I want to go to the Bay Area, or am I gonna say, oh, I want to come to LA? You gonna go to LA, right? So that's what we gonna leave it at that on the Bay Area. Shout out to all my people from the Bay, and we respect y'all, but we know what really it is. But
as Draco the Ruler said, we know the truth.
Yeah, we know the truth. R.I.P. to him too. But we
Draco,
and where's he from?
L.A.
Exactly. So so we gonna leave it at that. But kind of moving on to your time living in Los Angeles, before we started filming, you mentioned to me that you're a very diehard LA sports teams fan, and for the sake of this topic, we're just gonna talk about basketball and football because I don't. Those are my two sports. Right. So I'm gonna talk about first. I didn't tell you this, but so I'm a diehard Clipper fan, and I'm also a diehard 49er fan. Right. Oh so I want to talk about
how you from LA and you like the Clippers.
You want to know why? You want to know why I like the Clippers? So when I was coming up about 8 or 9, that's around the time when they won, like 2009 when Kobe had just won, right? I really liked Chris Paul, and when Chris Paul was on the Clippers, he became my favorite player, and that's when I was starting to like basketball. So I really like Chris Paul a lot, right? And then since then I've been a Clippers fan, and it's been hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's been hard being a Clippers fan, but I think it's also just my personality. I've always been, if people are gonna go right, I'm gonna go left. But I genuinely did like Chris Paul, and I genuinely liked when Blake Griffin, DeAndre Jordan, all of them were on the Lob City Clippers. So that's why I'm still a fan to this day. It's hard, but that's why. So speak about why you're a Laker fan, and all of that, and the Rams too. The Rams, like what? The Rams is crazy.
Okay, let me tell you why. So first of all, I mean, the type of person I am, if it's an LA team, I'm gonna always support my LA teams. Like that's just that. So in the Super Bowl, I had the Rams.
Yeah, for sure. Lakers, I had Rams too. Yeah,
like, I believe purple and gold. Like it's just we're the best franchise in NBA history for a reason.
And I'm not even gonna argue with that. I'm not even gonna argue with that.
And I mean, you know what? I'm respectfully, I understand your point on Chris Paul, Lob City. That was a great era. And coincidentally, at that era, the Lakers were absolutely nothing.
Yeah, so they were terrible back there.
I can see if you see this shiny object and not even that, but you just see your favorite player.
Yeah.
Like it's cool. But I love the Lakers because I was a diehard Kobe Bryant fan.
Yeah,
Kobe Bryant was my favorite.
Even me too. Yeah, I love Kobe. R.I.P. to Kobe. That's so sad, man. That's so sad.
I remember that day too.
I do too.
That was a horrendous day.
That was really a hit on everyone from LA because Kobe is an idol for a lot of kids, including me too. So it's it's crazy, but
he embodied what it is to be a Laker, what it is. He was a symbol. He was a symbol for the city of LA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Clipper or Laker, Ram or Charger, whatever it was, he was a symbol for LA. So it don't matter if you liked him or disliked him, you respect it's Kobe Bryant.
Right.
But for Lakers, like I said, Kobe Bryant I wanted to be just like him. I was
you had the I feel you. I feel you.
I was always born having the faces, and we were just even at that time, my dad, he was around. When they went for three-peat, that was the Shaq and Kobe Lakers.
Yeah.
When they won that championship, it was crazy, the parade and all that. That was the year before I left, so I was fresh off of that, and that's when I started having my love for the Lakers. So that's really why I love the Lakers, is because Kobe Bryant's my favorite player, and it's my city, so it's just a match made in heaven.
Yeah, and I feel that because even though I'm a Clippers fan, I still have a lot of love for the Lakers because that is home. That's it's home, and obviously the best franchise all time. And there's so many great players that have come out of LA so it's I obviously got a lot of love for them. But it's if you talk about my favorite team, it's gotta be the Clippers.
I respect it.
The Lakers are also trash currently, even though they're not, because at the time of this recording, it's April 19th, and the playoffs started probably early last week or so, right? So the Lakers are not in the playoffs, and I'm not gonna lie to you, the Clippers aren't in the playoffs either. But
you guys got farther than we did.
And the best player on the Clippers was hurt he didn't play one game.
Yeah.
And the second best player played 40 games.
Yeah.
And in the play,
supporting cast is better.
Yeah, but true, but the Lakers are just low-key not that good right now. I'm not gonna, and I love LeBron too.
Yeah, you know what? I'm not gonna be one of those fans who's oblivious or ignorant. We suck right now.
Yeah.
The only thing that has been semi keeping us above water is LeBron.
Yeah, LeBron.
And which is a good thing and a bad thing, because I feel in my personal opinion, as great as LeBron is, I feel he wants to be, he wants to be on that Mount Rushmore of Lakers and players. So he's going out of his way, scoring. He wants to catch the Kareem scoring title.
Yeah.
Kind of see when he goes for 60, it's great, but we're not winning. So it's kind of is that really helping the team? And then the supporting cast, you know what I'm saying? We have
Terrible.
Kendrick
Golly.
Nunn hasn't even played. Like, Trevor Ariza, you shouldn't even be in the league right now.
Y'all got all them old men playing.
I mean,
not playing no defense. They out there watching. They got tickets too.
Nah, it's just we're very old and top heavy, and you see the Clippers, they got. Man,
and the season was just tough for them because Kawhi was hurt, and Kawhi got hurt last playoff. So yeah, it was just tough.
Like that, you guys were tough. Nobody wanted to play y'all because you guys are a unit.
Yeah. More of a team than the Lakers are. Yeah,
we're very like LeBron.
It was a bunch of individuals. Yeah, a bunch of individuals.
That's what I admire about the Clippers is they always, no matter what, they always were a team. Like win or lose, like if they didn't have the best players, they would play hard.
And that's a good thing to say. They always were together. Yeah.
So this season, I'm not gonna lie, it was a very big bust. The Westbrook experience.
Yeah, terrible.
Didn't work out. And I actually loved Westbrook. His MVP year, he was absolutely insane. But I mean, the fact that Russell Westbrook said, I don't care if I win or not.
That was a crazy interview.
As you as a Clipper fan, you could attest. Like, if you put on the purple and gold, your expectation is to win, no matter what.
That was a crazy thing. He was putting his foot in his mouth a lot of times last year, but
be over there, all like these and that. Yeah.
Now, hopefully he do better. I hope that he does better because I feel bad because I like Westbrook too.
I love Westbrook.
But I don't know. But I don't want to talk about basketball for too long because we got a lot more stuff we're going to get into. But I'll probably have you come back on for an episode about basketball because I actually did not know you was that in the basketball like that. Yeah, we could do that. We get that done. But real quick before we get off basketball, I want to ask you, since the playoffs just started, who you got winning?
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie to you. Who I had winning originally, I had the Nets winning, and I had the Nets and the Bucks. But I was leaning towards the Nets. But right now,
you was leaning towards the Nets?
Yeah, because I just thought that Kevin Durant would, because he almost beat the Bucks if not for his toe on the line.
Yeah,
and he went absolutely insane. So I thought he was gonna come back for revenge because he's a killer.
Definitely.
But the way the Warriors are looking right now, and the way
the Warriors,
they're looking kind of scary. And even the Bucks.
No.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, we just talked about versus LA, but
so you got Warriors winning?
I got the Warriors or the Suns.
I'm not even gonna lie to you.
I said the Warriors or the Suns right now.
I got in the finals. I got it being a rematch from last year, and I got Bucks winning in 7.
Bucks winning in 7.
Yeah, you're not stopping Giannis, bro. Who on the Warriors? There ain't one person on the Warriors that's guarding Giannis. That's who's most likely coming out of the East.
I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna say Draymond's gonna give him a tough time. He's not gonna
tough time.
He's not gonna stop him.
Yeah,
you can't stop him.
Yeah,
you can only hope to contain him.
Yeah,
but Draymond, he's a good defender.
Yeah, but they're too small. The Warriors are too small, and that's one thing. That's why the Bucks won last year because they was just taller than everybody.
Okay, but you gotta think about it like this. Jordan Poole is going absolutely insane right now.
Make sure you.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, now you good. Scoot up a little bit.
Steph is not even playing really like. He's playing well, but he's not even going really crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he's not in this playoff mode. Clay's like warming up.
Yeah, Clay's warming up. Yeah.
Draymond is a very smart basketball. He's a facilitator, very smart basketball player. You got people off the bench like you got Otto Porter, you got JTA, you got Gary Payton Jr. I already said.
Oh, you already said Poole.
So you got Kuminga. Kuminga's a nice player. So you got some role players, and they know how to win.
Yeah, definitely.
So they know what it takes. But the only reason I'm like, I say Warriors, but I'm not really so sure is because the Suns look.
The Suns look very good, and that's for sure going to be conference finals.
But the Bucks don't, in my opinion, don't look as strong as they did last year. So I could think that it's because like Middleton not playing.
Yeah, Middleton's not doing that well right now.
Holiday's not really doing that. Giannis is going crazy because Giannis is going to crazy.
Of course.
But the supporting cast is not really doing that well. So I mean, we will see what's going on.
Yeah, we'll see.
But I think I got the Warriors.
I feel okay, and that's respectable because I got them at least making it to the conference finals. I got them.
And that's I feel like honestly, the Warriors Suns conference finals might be just a little more interesting than the Nets.
Yeah, definitely.
Just because the Nets are so top heavy in terms of KD.
Yeah.
But the Warriors and the Suns are like teams.
More even, even.
They balance each other out. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I feel that. So yeah, we'll see what happens. I'll definitely get you back on here to talk about that a little bit more. I got to get you in the next few weeks or so because I've been looking for somebody here that I could talk to about basketball that knows enough about it to have actual debates and discussions. We'll talk about that. So now we haven't mentioned this yet, but you said when we were talking about your time in LA, you mentioned that you left.
Right.
Oh, we did touch about it a little bit. So I want so for those that in case you missed it, you mentioned that you left. So I want you to tell the people where you left. And I want you to describe like how your life was in the location that you went.
Okay, so if you guys didn't know, I'm Nigerian American, but I usually just claim Nigeria just because everybody else here is American. Like, and I love my country. So when I was like 10 or 11, my dad came in one day in summertime, and he was like, pack up your things. We're going to a vacation.
Mm-hmm.
This is how it started. He said it's a vacation for 2 months in Nigeria, and I'm thinking, okay, it's a vacation.
Yeah,
that's cool. And then he's like, oh no, we're staying. And then he was like, oh yeah, it's gonna be 1 year. Then it would turn to 2 years, and then 3 years, and then 4 years. So I ended up just like staying there, and I thought it was a summer vacation.
Right.
In actuality, behind the scenes, they already had a plan.
Right.
So I moved there when I was 10, and then I lived in Nigeria. I went to middle school there, high school there, and as soon as I got there, I'm not gonna lie, I wanted to get back on the plane and go right back. Like it was a crazy experience because LA is all I ever knew, and all I ever wanted to be in was LA.
Right.
And so when I just had to pick up everything and move just like that, it was very crazy, and the culture shock was insane. Especially me being kind of lighter skin, and like, most of the people out there, no disrespect, but they're like darker skin.
Yeah, darker.
Like I had like a lot of things I had to learn, and like things that I didn't really understand that I understand now. So it was like a crazy experience going from LA, bright lights, like glitz, glamour, to Nigeria. It has glitz and glamour, but it was just a crazy different lifestyle. So it was a crazy experience, and it was rough. I'm not gonna lie, it was rough when I first moved there.
So when did you move? Like, give me a year that you moved back to the States. 2000 back to the States. Yeah, back to the States.
2019 when I got in that States.
2019. Okay.
Right,
okay.
Right.
So you mentioned a little bit about your time in Africa. So like, what do you like what did you like the most about being in Africa?
I love that the people were proud of who they are, and I love the fact that the people, like, they were very proud of who they were, and it was very much like the people were they kind of tried to make it so that we would have like an easy time, because we came in, and my mom came in, she's full American. So it was hard for her to ingratiate, but my family, they took us in, they welcomed us. The people were very nice, so they were proud. The food is amazing.
Yeah.
Culture, it's just very it's very easy to love. And I love like how the people weren't really like here. Everybody's like social media. Like there, you don't really have time because you have like you're basically in the middle of nowhere for the most part.
Right.
So you don't really have social media. So you really get to know people and get personable.
Right.
And learn culture and learn about like the game really. So that's one thing I really loved, being out there.
What about some of your dislikes about it?
Hey, how much time we got? I'm playing. The dislikes, I honestly, when I first moved there, it's very colorist. It's very much like when I moved there, because I had lighter skin, like people would look at me and they would like, they wouldn't want to like, they would think I'm like some like foreigner because of how I talk, and like obviously I have my accent, so I switch out, so now I use it, but. The fact that, I was of lighter skin, I used to get, like, bullied. People wouldn't accept me. People wouldn't want me because, like, I didn't look like them. So, like, that colorist aspect was a really big thing. And it's very patriarchal. Like, it's not really inclusive of women at all. It's very much man.
Right.
So, it's, like, kind of like, I wouldn't say, it is toxic masculinity, but it's very, like, masculine, heavy, very, like, rigid, traditional.
Yeah.
And, like, we didn't really have, like, basic amenities weren't always there, like water, electricity. So that type of stuff is the main things. And I mean, there's a whole bunch. I'm sure, like, maybe on Caleb's episode, you guys talked about it, but it's a whole bunch of stuff that's wrong with our country.
Right.
But I still love it.
Yeah, definitely. And I did talk about that with Caleb about how it's not really, you're not really as free as you are out here.
Absolutely not. In some respects you are, like, I can't say on camera, but like in some respects you are, but I mean it's not really free like that.
Yeah.
Absolutely not. Like homosexuality
is frowned upon up there.
Frowned upon. Like,
yeah.
You will die. You will die.
Really?
If you're in a homosexual.
Is that serious?
It's very serious.
Dang, that's crazy. So that just means that they're against men expressing themselves.
They're against people expressing themselves how they want to express. Like you can only express it through what they see.
Yeah. Dang, so that's like, crazy.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
Free aspect you were talking about with Caleb. So, yeah, it's just
that's crazy. But I agree with you on your likes. That obviously I've never been to Africa, but I think it is super cool to be back where we're from, because even though I don't know what country in Africa I obviously stem from, all black people, we come from Africa, and I think it'll be super cool one day finding out more about my background and going to visit the place in Africa where I'm from, where I originated. So I think that's cool that I have so many friends that have spent time in Africa, because that's something really cool, and that's something that I never really heard of until I got to college, which is another testament to college, is how you meet so many different people from so many different places. So I think that's cool. And this is going on my third episode where I've talked about like time in Africa, so I don't want to dwell on it too much, but definitely I think if any of you guys are interested in hearing more about his story and like his time in Africa, definitely hit him up on Instagram. I'm sure he'll be down to speak about it. But I kind of want to talk about, so actually I lied. We're not getting away from the topic of Africa. I lied. So I want to talk about how did just you being black, right? Yeah. Being a black man. How did being a black man in LA, being a black man in Africa, and being a black man in now San Diego where you live right now, how did all of that shape you? And like what do you think, what pieces of information did you take from all of those places to mold it into the person that you are?
Okay, so I'm gonna start with being a black man in LA. The part of LA that I was in, which is like that Carson, Torrance,
right?
Like that part. I mean, it was a lot easier growing up because I was surrounded by my mom's family, my dad's family, who were committed to making sure that I had good morals, I was strong, but I was able to express myself. And be who I can be, and like not have the fear of like being a black man in Africa, for example, of not doing things that would go against the norm.
Right.
So they would always tell me, express myself and be who you are, because here it's a lot more free.
Yeah.
Being a black man in Africa, however, it's a lot more one-dimensional in the sense of if you're a man, so you have to be this, you have to do this, and you have to do this. So in that response, like what that taught me is, okay, this is what a man, this is what you have to do, but connect it to that LA side and be, okay, you have to express yourself. It's not just you're just a provider only, protector only, rigid, traditional.
Yeah.
You have to have these new ideas, right? Like from LA, where my mom's family comes in, talk to me about that. And then that final piece of being a black man in San Diego, honestly, like being a black man out here is very difficult, because we don't really see that many black men like out here. You
Definitely.
Know what I'm saying? I mean, the most black men I see in one place is honestly on campus. And so I don't really see a lot of black people. So it's very difficult, trying to get a job, trying to see people like you like in the workforce, trying to see people who you want in positions of higher power. I think for me, because I want to be a judge. We'll
really?
Talk about that.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll talk about that later. But the Honorable Judge Houston, he's the only black man that I've seen in the Southern California district for federal judges. So like it's just hard for me, to see where I wanted to go as like a man, as opposed to like LA and Africa, right? So all these places have similarities, but I feel like the best parts of every one, I try to take like that, the freedom of who you can be, because people here are very like liberal, very progressive, right? So I take those ideas.
Be who you want to be.
Right, and I take the idea of having strong values of being a man and being an African man and an African American man from Africa, and I take that like the freedom of having your family and having strong morals and the Catholicism, my faith, all that from LA, and that molds me to who I am right now. So I think those are the best parts of every place. And
that is a crazy answer. That's very good. I have to clip that and post that on social media, because that's a really good answer, and I like that, and I can see that in you, that you've taken a lot of the morals from places, and that's one thing about Africa that I really like, even though I obviously never been.
We gonna plan a trip.
For sure. Yeah, I definitely want to come within the next at least 4 to 5 years. But I'm just for sure. But I think that's super cool that you take the good. I was talking about it with Caleb, my second to last episode ago. I was talking about it with him, that just how the morals that you find there and that your parents instill in you is super cool to me. And I think we need more of, like, sometimes to an extent it's a little bit too free in Los Angeles, because not Los Angeles, in the United States, because it's not that discipline that is instilled in you by your parents. So I think that's super cool to hear your perspective on that. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Just to wrap up a little bit, like, because I know we have like limited time. You know, even Frao, Frao is Ethiopian and he's African, but his ideals are similar but just different in a sense.
Yeah.
Even though Caleb is Nigerian, we're both Nigerian, but we're from different tribes.
Right.
But again, we have similar values and similar ideas, all like because of where we come from,
right?
And the type of way that we were raised, as African men. So the type of structure, like you were saying, is all similar in a way because of where we come from. So I'm definitely gonna we definitely should gonna plan a trip
for sure. Yeah, I'm down. I'm down for sure.
I know you would love it, especially knowing how you are.
Yeah,
I know you.
Yeah,
it'll be crazy.
That'd be lit. And cause I'm so willing to learn that. Especially I want to really learn where I really come from, where my people come from. So I'm down. But now I want to now for good. I want to transition out of speaking about Africa and being a black man and all of that. Yeah. I kind of want to get into something that. So let me tell you why I wanted to put this in our episode, because like I said, it's April 19th, and just a few days ago was Easter. And for Lent, you mentioned to me a few weeks ago that you gave up social media for Lent. And that's something that I'm big on, is like getting off social media, because it wraps up a lot of, it kind of wraps the, never mind. Let me. I don't know what I was about to say. Okay, look. It kind of like confuses and kind of programs our generation to think that you just got to be on social media all day. You got to fit this image. You got to become this person. You got to show off to people. So I want to hear your stance on how you feel about social media, the benefits, the bad parts. I want to hear your perspective.
Okay. Yeah. So like Jaden was saying, I just got on social media yesterday, and I was off there for 2 months and 12 days. Mm-hmm. So I had given it up for Lent, but I also used that time that I was off to really grow within myself and to really see the world around me. And I feel like social media nowadays is very much striving for perfection. It's very much like there's a lot of pressure. Like there's like so much pressure on having the perfect picture at the perfect time at the location, and it's like unrealistic. Super unrealistic. It's very much like it's very much toxic, and I think that on my time off it, in my personal opinion, I really grew as a person, and I really saw the world around me. I appreciated my family more. I appreciated my friends more. I appreciated my experiences that I went through. I really got to sit down and analyze, okay, how can I grow from this situation? How can I be a better man? How can I be a better brother, a better son to my mom? Like just a lot of things within myself and where I want to go with my future, I accomplished off of social media. It doesn't mean that you can't do it on.
Yeah.
It's just when you have all that time that you're on social media, it doesn't necessarily mean that it's being productive.
Yeah.
And it's just this concept of perfection and this concept that is not really real. Mm-hmm. I just don't like in that fakeness of social media. So that's what I found in my time off of it. And I would recommend it to anybody. Taking social media breaks is absolutely fantastic. I know we were talking about this off camera, but you said you take breaks.
Yeah, I'm kind of like on one now. The only reason why I log back in is because I have to promote my podcast, and I don't want that to go under the table. I wanted to social media, that's one of the good things about it, is that you can really get your stuff out there and you can reach audiences that you never could have reached back in the day. But I feel like social media, a lot of time it's just so people are just trying to be people and we don't. A lot of people, what I just had to realize is that people don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
Is that people don't care.
It's just a lot of pressure for people who honestly couldn't care less about.
Yeah, you're putting all that, you're spending all that money on clothes to impress people. You're spending hours trying to take the right picture to impress people when people don't care. It's really not even that serious. And that's what I had to realize about social media, is that I like to stay off, because it's cool, it's entertaining, but sometimes you got to really take a step back so you could really find yourself and stay focused on what you got going on. So that's really why I take breaks, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Even off social media, you really value the people who are in your life, and you really see, okay, if I go away for a month and I just drop off the face of the earth, who's really gonna be checking on me? Who's really my peoples? And I feel like that time off is really beneficial to growing, not as a person, and you see the world in a different way. You can grow and you can have more time to, do what you want to do in your life. So, I mean, like you were saying, sometimes I go on just to like show the world that I'm alive.
Yeah.
Also, it's like there should be a balance, and you shouldn't buy clothes, do things just to be on social media. You should do it for yourself.
Yeah, do it because you actually like it. Yes, facts.
They see what you love. And I feel like that's the point of social media at its core.
Yeah, expressing yourself, but not trying to be someone that you're not, expressing your true self.
Absolutely.
And I think that's a perfect, what we just kind of collaborated on, that's a perfect summary of the point of social media. But people just don't use it for the right reason. That's why sometimes I notice when I'm scrolling on social media and the stuff I'm looking at, it starts to feel a little bit lame. It starts to feel like lame. Like, why am I looking at this? And then you just got to take a step back and really see real life. So I don't want to talk about that too much because, like I said, we are a little bit on a time constraint, just a little bit. But
make it.
So I think we'll be good. But now I kind of want to move on to. That was something that I wanted to get out the way because that's something that I'm just big on is taking breaks off social media. Right. But I wanted to talk about
and TikTok.
Yeah. I want to talk about your goals, which is kind of crazy that I should have started off with that. But I want to talk about some of your goals and some of your passions. And I didn't even have you say your major in college, and that's crazy. I didn't know that you wanted to be a lawyer. Yeah. I mean, not a lawyer. You said a judge.
Well, I mean, you have to be a lawyer to be.
Yeah. So I want you to talk a little bit about that. Why'd you choose that career choice? And then what are some of your passions that you do in your free time?
Okay. So basically, my dad was a lawyer. And he kind of groomed me since I was a kid to, be a law. And like every time he would be with his law buddies or whatever, he'd be like, "You want to be a lawyer, right? Like, you want to be a lawyer, right?"
Yeah.
So it was kind of like, and he would take me to court. He was like to trial, take me to like stuff like that. So he was kind of grooming me to be a lawyer. But I actually grew to love it because of how I'm naturally a person that I love to help people. I love to interact with people. And especially living in Nigeria, I see my people suffer and they have nobody to represent them because there's so much corruption. Even here, with the Black Lives Matter movement, when I was in quarantine, I'm thinking, you know what? Like, we need people to step up. We need people in government to fight for us, because it's very much white old male dominated.
Right.
And even like for my black queens too, like we need black people in positions of power, and I want to be one of those people to speak for my people and say, hey, this is wrong. Hey, we need to do this. This is what our people need to go to the places where we want to go. So I want to be a lawyer and then eventually become a judge, so I can oversee the fact that so I can oversee directly certain cases in which African Americans are involved, or people in the African diaspora, honestly, in general, so I can implement change at any level. And
right.
That's my go with my education.
And I think that's super dope, that because how you started off your story, you said that like your dad and he kind of influenced you, but then you found a real reason why, and I think that's super cool. I think that's all you really need in the world is a reason why. So I think that's cool, and I hope that you achieve that. And if I ever get like a speeding ticket or something,
I got you.
I'm gonna hit you up just in case I need somebody to represent me. But yeah, so
say nothing.
what are your like pastimes? I know one thing about you is that you play soccer.
Right.
You're on a club team, right?
Right. So I'm on the club team here. That's like my main passion is soccer and basketball. More so soccer now. I'm trying to go like one day, hopefully, if everything goes right, go pro with that. But one of my main passions, honestly, I like to like listen to music. I'm a big music guy. So obviously, like my friends make music.
Right.
Not even just like my friends here, but my friends in Nigeria.
Yeah.
Shout out 2-3. Shout out Ramsey. Shout out them. But my friends, they make music, so I'm really big on music. I like to read. But main thing is for me, I like to just sit down and just talk. Like,
definitely.
We could just talk about life. We could talk about future goals. So those are my main interests. And obviously, I love meeting new people. I love going to new places. I love traveling. I think those are my biggest things.
Yeah, okay, for sure. Yeah, I like that, and that kind of aligns with some of my things that I like to do. Is like you said, just sitting down and talking. That's probably one of the reasons why I wanted to start this podcast. Also because I don't know if you know, but I'm a journalism major, and then my dream job is to be a sports journalist. So that's that's just why I wanted to start this. So I think that's cool also that you have kind of some of the same things and you mentioned that you like to read. That's something that you don't really find a lot in our generation. It's people who like to read. So I think that's super cool. And yeah, I think very interesting young man you are. You know what I'm saying?
I can see Jaden over there on ESPN.
That's the goal for real. That's the goal. But you never know. Maybe this podcast could blow up, and then I wouldn't even have to work for ESPN because I'll just have my own community and home. It's to where I can, like, I'll be self-employed and have everything going on all under my name. So you never know, but we're gonna keep working towards it no matter what.
You know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I have one of my friends. His name is Key from my freshman year. He's a journalism major. He wants to go into sports too, and he kind of had this same idea with the podcast. But like things kind of like fell off for him. So, but he has lots of internships. He has lots of connections.
Right.
So I'm gonna
plug me for sure.
He could show you the way because he's a junior.
Yeah.
But he has all these connections right now, and like especially because you're going on the same path as him, you guys could probably either collab or bounce ideas off each other or something. But like.
For sure. Sounds good. Yeah. We'll do that for sure after the podcast. Yeah, definitely. I'm 100% interested. Okay, and then you mentioned in some of your passions and interests about music. I feel like that's something everyone loves music, obviously.
Right.
So I want to ask you. This is something I talk about in a lot of my podcasts. What are some of your favorite artists?
Okay,
musical artists, and it doesn't have to just be one genre. It could just be ever.
Right. I honestly,
you're all good. We got some people behind the scenes, and something happened, but it's all good. Just because act like that never happened.
All right. So my favorite musical artist, I love every genre of music.
Right.
I like, except for like heavy metal. That's
but
I love everything. But my favorites, gosh, I mean, I would say Drake, Wizkid, Burna Boy. Davido, obviously, those are not my Nigerian guys. Let me see. I love Lil Baby, Gunna. Those are my guys. Future, love Future. Actually, your favorite artist, Playboi Carti.
Sarah, the GOAT.
I like
the GOAT. That's the GOAT. That's the GOAT right there.
Don't say that. Playboi Carti. I love a lot of R&B. Like I really, really, really love Summer Walker, Snow Allegra, SZA. Like I love their style. Brent, obviously.
Yeah.
Brent's a big one. I can't think of it right now, but mainly my main genre that I really, really love is like rap, hip hop, and Afro beats. I'm gonna plug you with that.
Yeah, for sure.
But Afro beats they have my heart.
For sure. Yeah, I've definitely heard some Afro beats. Do you just call it? Is it straight up Afro beats or is it Afro beat songs? Like how does that?
I feel like
what's the terminology for it?
The best way to describe it is just Afro beats.
Okay,
just
so
Afro
yeah,
beats.
I've heard some though for sure because I have a friend. Don't know if she's watching this. Shout out Kaylin. She watches a lot of. Listens to a lot of Afro beats. So yeah, but definitely put me on some. Definitely because I'm down to listen to anything. I like stepping out of my comfort zone. So yeah.
Nah, and absolutely. I mean, I know you love Playboi Carti, but I'm gonna say it right now. This man actually made me go back, like because you love Playboi Carti so much. I went back and listened to Playboi Carti's discography again. I'm gonna say. Playboi Carti gets a lot of hate. Like his music is actually, I mean, it's not for everybody. Trust me.
Definitely not. That's
but
the reason.
I mean, he has some hard songs like New Chopper, Playboi, like Woke Up, like these are some good songs. These are some good songs. So you know what?
Yeah.
Don't sleep.
Also, you mentioned you like Gunna. A good memory that you.
Yeah.
I mentioned this a few times. Our school just had Gunna pulled up to our school and performed for free. So he had this concert for free, right? And I was not gonna go because I wasn't really feeling like in the concert mood that day, right?
Yeah.
So I just decided to go, right? My boy Fraul, he snuck me into like almost the front of the almost to where we was dang near touching Gunna. So
yeah.
Chike, right? Me and him, we standing on these chairs, I almost
going
fell.
crazy.
Bro, we in there listening, bro. That was okay. That was
nah.
super fun.
He. I'm not gonna lie. He did really, really well in the performance. Yeah. And I was with one of my close friends, Terrell, and Terrell, I think he breathes. He should have a shrine. He was over there. I think he was there to cry. Like Terrell, he loves Gunna. So I mean, to be with you, bro, like my guys, we was just lit. Yeah, Gunna, it was a crazy performance.
That was super fun for sure. I wish I got some videos. I might have to post those, but that was super fun.
That was super fun.
But yeah, now we're kind of getting towards the end of the podcast. There's still more stuff that we could talk about, but I want to get you back on for another episode to talk more because I don't want to make it the episode super too long because it's already long, but I don't want to make it too long because a lot of people's attention spans ain't that
Right.
ain't that good. So I kind of want to just shorten it. But wrapping up, one thing I always do is that I always like to leave the people that are watching off with some motivation and inspire them because we're all just people trying to make it to where we want to be. So I think if you hear from someone that you may look up to like me or you, it's super beneficial on the road that you're going down. So like always, I have 2 quotes.
Okay.
My first quote is, grind while they rest, study when they party, and you will live like they dream. And I just found that today.
That's a great quote.
I think that's a good quote because a lot of times that's like with me.
Fantastic quote.
One thing I'm all about is grinding all the time, working all the time, always staying busy so you can chase your dreams because a lot of people, we're young, they want to just go out and have fun all the time.
Yeah.
Me personally, I want to be successful and I want to achieve what I want to achieve
Absolutely.
at an early age.
Absolutely.
Staying focused and keep grinding is super important to me. And then for my second quote, it says, always remember your focus determines your reality.
Right. That's a great quote.
That's also 100% true because if you're not focused, you can't do anything that you want to do. But if you stay focused, you can do anything, literally anything you want to do. So those are my 2 quotes. I want to hear you don't have to have a quote, but I just if you want to leave off with some inspiration for anybody, what's some things that you got on your mind?
Yeah, I would say one of my favorite quotes that I've always heard is where there's a will, there's a way. And that applies to anything. If you think that you've hit the wall, or you think that, me personally, whenever I hit the wall, or when I think, okay, things not going where I want to, I'm going to think there's always a way. And so I think that where there's a will, there's a way is one of my favorite quotes of all time. Right. I will also say, I think this was Kobe Bryant, but it's determination breeds success. And I love that quote because you always have to stay determined because the success is going to come. It's just you got to put in the work. You got to stay determined. You got to stay hungry all the time, never be satisfied. And everything that you ever want is going to come just with it. And what I would say to people, who are watching this is, just to keep going. And I know it may be hard because, we're college students right now and wherever you are, it's going to be tough. But you just got to keep going because, in the end, it's always going to pay off. There'll be times I don't want to maybe go to practice or I don't want to go to work or I don't want to go to class. But I'm like, you know what? For where I want to go, you just got to keep going. You need to. And you got to keep the faith, too. Yeah, keep the faith. Definitely. Keep the faith. Just pray to God. Pray or to whatever your faith is, even if you're agnostic, just believe in yourself then. That's all you can believe. Just keep going. So, I would say that. And, find refuge in your friends. Always be able to lean, not to say you dependent, but you have resources around you. Use them. And don't make your life harder than it needs to be. Right, definitely. So yeah, that's good game. Hope you guys take up on that. I hope that's a reminder to believe in yourself and stay focused on everything, you know what I mean? And absolutely. Yeah, definitely. I think this has been a very good episode. I wish we had longer, but my computer might blow up trying to my computer with how long this probably is. So we're gonna get out of here. But before we get out of here, I want you to shout out your social medias again. It'll pop up for the screen, but I want you to say it so they can verbally hear. Okay, so my social medias are Chike, Chike.Amobi. I think that's my Twitter. My Snapchat is, I'm gonna change it. It's probably just gonna be Chike. If you search it up, it's going to be Chike_No21 right now. One thing I want to say really quick is this man, Jaden, I know he's only 18, but I feel like this man is like 24 in terms of his wiseness. He's grinding, Just want to say I'm proud of you, man. Appreciate you, you know what I'm saying, for having me on the pod. And, shout out Mandem in Nigeria. Shout out Too Painless. Okay, shout out Anomaly. Yes, Amir, my last podcast guest, shouted them out. So shout out to P. Okay, shout out to P, my guy. Shout out Mandem in Nigeria. Shout out my mom. Shout out my family. Shout out all my friends. Love y'all. Shout out Jalen for having me on the pod. Yeah. And shout out Caleb. Shout out Frada. Shout out 3CDJ. Yeah. Shout out all of them. Shout out all of them. Yes, sir. And thank you for having me. That's a bet. No problem, man. It's anytime. Definitely gotta get you back on it. But yeah, so. Shout out you again. Can't forget about you. Thank you. Going places as well. And I hope that you are able to achieve everything that you want to. And yeah, that's all for the podcast episode. Hope everyone has a great rest of their Monday. We'll be back next Monday, and then the Monday after that, and the Monday after that. So look forward to these episodes at 4 p.m. So yeah, I appreciate it. Hope everyone can take everything that you learned in the episode and just go on about your day and have a good day. So thank you. We're gonna get out of here. Thank you.